What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a very quick look at the FansToys Marauder second trailer, which is their trailer for their version of Motormaster. So I just transformed this. It was meant to be a practice transformation, but once I did it, I decided I'm not going to do this video. But I figured since I've already got it here in the trailer mode, I might as well show it to you. Since we've got it, and we can show you how it works and some of the advantages and I guess disadvantages of the way this comes together. So first, I do want to mention it does have some purple and silver paint, and that does match up nicely with the original Motormaster. So you can see it matches up pretty well with the look of this. It is a little bit wider than the original, this direction. Height-wise, it's basically the same. Length-wise, obviously way longer than the original trailer. You know, maybe another third longer. And before I get it attached to here, I just want to show you around the trailer. Here's the top, pretty clean overall, other than this yellow part. Now, this has everything in it. The arms, the legs, the torso, the body, everything, the head, everything is in here, including the shoulder pauldrons are back here. The only thing that's not in here is the roller car, the chest plate. Everything else has made it in here. I guess the sword and the gun aren't in here inside either, but they do attach to this. So it is kind of impressive they got everything in here, but still, it is very large. You do have some sculpted detail here on the front of the trailer. On the bottom, it cleans up pretty nicely. You don't really see the robot mode's parts, but you do see some hardware here and there. You have rubber tires with the silver wheels. The silver wheels match Motormaster very well, so that's a nice touch. And on the back you have this, whatever you want to imagine. Now you can take this off, but I don't think this looks all that much better. So you might as well just store your shoulder pauldron pieces there. Now let's talk about the wheels for a second, because they're supposed to plug in right here. There's a little slot right there, the tab on top. And unfortunately, it just doesn't. It comes out, and the real issue is the weight. This thing is very heavy. It's filled with die cast and plastic. There's no open space in here. But because of that, these wheels tend to buckle. So as you roll it around or you just put it down, those wheels don't stay in place. I've seen a few pictures where people had it like this in hovercraft mode just because the wheels fell down. I just thought that was funny. But yeah, they're just not effective in this mode. The other thing is the transformation to get here is kind of a nightmare. It's a two-piece transformation. So the bottom half is the legs. The top half is the torso. And you end up taking the two and kind of pushing them together. And it's a lot of panels and parts. And shout out to Pake for Life, who did a review on the transformation. I'm not even going to do it, just because I find it to be very irritating. But yeah, to do that live, that's very impressive. So anyway, transformation is not fun, which is one reason why I'm not doing the full review. But we can still take a look at what this can do. So it can store the weapons on here. So if you open up this tab, we can bring in the gun. You want to fold up the handle so it's flat like this. You'll see there's a little slot, a groove right here on the side of the gun, and that will fit this panel in there, and they can store the gun there. And then on this side, same thing, you can fold down the panel. We'll bring in the sword, and you've got these grooves, and you have to slide it onto the middle. So there's a thinner part on the middle, and then you can slide it forward once you get it on there. So slide it on the middle, it'll be loose, and then once you slide it forward, it will get tight. You can see the wheels came off, and the backpack came off. This is some of the issue with this thing, but it is nice that you could store both the sword and the gun. And in case you forgot, we're also storing the sword and gun for Motormaster on the bottom of this trailer. So all the weapons are stored here. These wheels. But let's get it plugged in. So you're going to take this And if you look at the back of this trailer, on the bumper, there's 2 holes here. And those are going to fit those 2 tabs I mentioned earlier. So get this plugged in here. I'll have to just give it a little push, and then once you get it attached, then you can pull out this hinge. And there's the full trailer for Marauder, and it is really heavy. I mean, it just doesn't roll because of these wheels, especially these back ones. It does look okay, but it's very impractical. So let me just show you. Here it is with, you know, Magic Square's version of Optimus Prime. And if you can think about Optimus Prime, his trailer comes to right here. So this is going to take a giant space on a shelf. And I also want to show you this guy next to the DX9 version. So let me just bring in this picture. And when DX9's Attila or Motormaster came out, I kind of laughed at the trailer saying, man, this trailer is so big. It's wide and it's long and it's kind of ridiculous. But now seeing this double trailer, I do kind of feel like DX9, you know, deserves credit for fitting the entire combiner into that one trailer. Now, FansToys, just looking back at this, you know, they did do a sacrifice by having an all-in-one transformation for Motormaster, whereas DX9, you know, you can't really transform the cab into the separate robot. It's like half of the cab, or I guess maybe a third of the cab breaks apart, and then that transforms into Motormaster, and then the rest becomes the combiner parts. The sacrifice that FansToys made was the whole thing turns into Motormaster, and it all folds away flat on the back. It's a very impressive transformation. I was really impressed when it came out, but this is just kind of ridiculous. So I don't find this to be practical. I don't recommend it. I'm going to give this a 2 out of 5. I just don't think it works, and it's just not practical to display. Also, the transformations is kind of a pain in the butt. Now, if you're trying to figure out what to do with your second trailer, if you bought 2 of these, then you know maybe this is the option to deal with the combined parts. But I wouldn't even bother with this. I just think it's not worthwhile. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.